There are moments in science when the absence of sound speaks louder than any discovery ever could. And this is one of those moments. It wasn't the fiery death of a star, the collision of galaxies, or the approach of a comet that set off alarms among astronomers. It was silence, deep, incomprehensible, and unnatural. A black spot, featureless and consuming, sat in this otherwise barren sector. And then it moved. Slowly. Deliberately. As if aware of being watched. What followed forced the world's leading astrophysicists, cosmologists, and mathematicians to re-evaluate everything they knew. This was no comet. No black hole. No known anomaly. This was something else. Something with purpose, something with presence, and something that might even possess memory. The event began during a routine deep field scan near the Aerodana supervoid, a mysterious region of space known for its unexplained cold spots and low galactic density. During calibration for an infrared galaxy mapping project, the Webb telescope detected something odd. Instead of mapping distant stars or catching the infrared glow of distant galaxies, it saw a void shaped in a perfect circle, too symmetrical to be natural and too chaotic in energy readings to be artificial. It wasn't gravitational lensing or a dust cloud. The object didn't just absorb light. It erased it, like ink dropped in water that made the water itself disappear. Early theories proposed a new class of black hole, but none of the signatures matched. There were no X-rays, no gravitational ripples, no evidence of surrounding matter being drawn in. Just stillness. And then something happened that made scientists stop sleeping. The perimeter of the object began to pulse, not with light, but with slight distortions, ripples in space itself. Like it was breathing. Light echoes around the object were analyzed. At first, they seemed random, but a pattern emerged. Disturbances aligned with prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. The pulses weren't electromagnetic. They weren't sound or radio or any familiar frequency. They were temporal distortions, nudges in the structure of spacetime itself. Webb's gyroscopes, designed to detect the slightest motion, recorded minute shifts each time a pulse occurred. It was like the object was tapping on the universe's walls. This went far beyond any stellar or planetary behavior. Mathematicians and quantum physicists were brought in to assess the anomalies. Their conclusion? The pulses weren't just patterns, they were signals. Structured, timed, and too deliberate to be random. No natural phenomenon behaves this way. Not quasars, not magnetars, not even rogue exoplanets caught in the gravitational pull of dying stars. As more data came in, something else was noticed. The object wasn't stationary. It had changed position, not by drifting or accelerating, but by vanishing from one coordinate and reappearing at another. The displacement was slight, only a fraction of a degree, but its implications were immense. It didn't move through space. It skipped it. Like it had blinked across dimensions. Such behavior was only ever seen in quantum entanglement experiments, where paired particles reacted simultaneously over vast distances. But this wasn't microscopic. This was the size of a small moon. And it acted like the rules of spacetime were optional. When its movements were mapped over time, they didn't form a random pattern. They spiraled inward, converging on a trajectory that pointed, disturbingly, toward Earth. By the fourth month, panic began to replace curiosity. The object wasn't just unusual. It was active. It was thinking. Geometric patterns began forming around its edge, fractals, intricate and self-replicating, similar to neural networks. The longer the telescope observed, the more complex the structures became, and they began adapting to the Webb's orientation, as if they were adjusting to how they were being observed. Researchers dubbed this bizarre phenomenon responsive geometry. Some theorized the object might be a kind of construct, a machine, or worse, a living entity. Not designed to move but to wait. A dimensional anchor or a listening post. Artificial intelligence models trained to analyze alien geometries were tested against the object's patterns. They all failed. The algorithms would freeze, loop endlessly, or crash. In one instance, an AI error log returned just a single word. Recognized. The implications were staggering. This wasn't just a discovery. It was a reply. The anomalies didn't end there. Background radiation around the object began shifting. Initially brushed off as noise or interference, deeper analysis showed something else: harmonic frequencies embedded in the background energy. These harmonics were structured, layered like music, as if the object wasn't just emitting noise but composing. Some called it the song of the void. Others weren't so poetic. To them, the signal resembled the precise harmonics that could only be produced by an intelligent mechanism. But perhaps the most disturbing part was the feedback. As the telescope adjusted its position or changed sensor modes, the signal responded. Subtle shifts in the waveform followed. Like it wasn't just broadcasting, but listening and responding. A new team of theoretical mathematicians was brought in to decode the timing patterns. They discovered something buried deep within the sequence, a mathematical constant not known to exist in any natural cosmic process. A constant that suggested logic, design, and most terrifying of all, intent. Whatever this object was, it wasn't just observing the universe, it was studying it. And now, it was aware of us. Governments have since tightened control over Webb's data streams. Whispers of the discovery have leaked, but no official confirmation has been made. Independent observatories are reportedly being blocked from accessing certain sky coordinates. And still, the object remains. The Lemur prime spiral, an elegant yet mystifying arrangement of prime numbers spiraling out from a central point, has long been a curiosity in number theory. Its visual similarity to patterns found in nature, like the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower or the shell of a nautilus, has made it more than just a mathematical curiosity. But no one ever expected to see it out in space. Yet that's exactly what appeared when scientists analyzed the intervals between distortions near the anomaly captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. The same spiral, the same sequence, repeated with unnatural precision. This couldn't be a coincidence. Some theorists suggested it might be a universal language, mathematics not as a tool of study, but as a method of communication. A Rosetta Stone from something, or someone, capable of embedding recognizable structures into the very distortion of space itself. If that spiral was intentional, it meant whoever, or whatever, created it understood not only numbers, but the architecture of our reality. And then came the moment that pushed the scientific community into deeper silence. When the signal pattern was modeled in 3 dimensions, it didn't just form a spiral. It twisted into a double helix. A form immediately recognizable as the structure of DNA. At first, there was hesitation to draw conclusions. But when the timing intervals between the pulses were analyzed further, they revealed a match to codons, the triplet sequences that form the basis of genetic coding in all known Earth life. That changed everything. It wasn't just a signal anymore. It was a message written in a language that mirrored life itself. Something out there wasn't just observing the universe, it understood biology, evolution, perhaps even consciousness. It didn't simply stumble upon our presence. It might have known us before we ever knew ourselves. And then the silence began to spread, not the cosmic kind, but the human one. Access to Webb's raw data feeds, once public, became delayed and fragmented. Logs from ground stations and research observatories began disappearing or showing signs of tampering. Prominent scientists involved in the study quietly stepped down from their positions. No announcements, no explanations. Just a slow, methodical retreat. The tone of communication from major space agencies shifted. What had started as excited transparency turned cold, procedural, evasive. Behind the scenes, multiple space agencies held closed-door meetings. NASA, the European Space Agency, even private aerospace companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin. It wasn't just about the anomaly being a threat. It was about uncertainty. No one could confirm what it was, how it worked, or whether it was even still out there. The most unnerving theory was that the object wasn't new. That it had always been there. And it simply waited for us to become advanced enough to notice. There was another problem. Decades-old deep space missions like Voyager 1, Voyager 2, and New Horizons had all passed near the same region. Not one of them had recorded anything remotely like this. Which leaves only two explanations: either the object was hidden, invisible to conventional detection, or it hadn't arrived yet. And then, just as mysteriously as it appeared, it was gone. On the 48th day of continuous observation, shortly before the James Webb Telescope was scheduled to redirect its gaze elsewhere, the anomaly's signal ceased. No more pulses. No more distortions. Just static. But just before that silence, the telescope recorded a final transmission, an image lasting less than a second, just 3 frames long. It wasn't another shadow. It wasn't a star. It was a symbol. Angular, symmetrical, unnaturally precise. A sigil floating in the void. Its structure was made of interlocking triangles, circles, and lines, arranged in a recursive pattern that defied random generation. Artificial intelligence tools, trained to detect randomness, confirmed what scientists already feared: this was design. Not the result of cosmic accidents or gravitational chaos. This was a message, or perhaps a marker. And then it vanished. Since that final image, nothing else has appeared. No signals. No distortions. No signs of movement. But the data remains. So does the silence. The most terrifying possibility now is that it didn't leave. It just chose to stop letting us see it. And that leads to a deeper question. What did James Webb really find out there? Was it a sentient observer stationed in the cosmic dark? A probe meant to activate when intelligence reached a certain threshold? Or perhaps a reflection, something that reveals itself only when we're ready to witness it? Maybe it was never about the telescope. Maybe it was about us. The implications go far beyond astronomy. If this object was signaling using prime number spirals, DNA codons, and geometric symmetries, then it isn't just alien in nature, it's alien in thought. It doesn't communicate in words. It doesn't broadcast in languages. It speaks through mathematics, rhythm, and form. It interacts through silence. It understands biology. It mirrors thought. And worst of all, it may have known we were watching before we ever turned our eyes to it. This discovery isn't just about deep space anymore. It's about our place in the universe. It forces us to confront what intelligence truly means. It forces us to ask whether we are the first, or simply the latest, to stare into the void and find it staring back. And it raises a terrifying possibility, that in searching for signs of life, we've instead found evidence of something beyond life. Something that doesn't merely exist, but waits, learns, and perhaps remembers. The truth is, we don't know what we're dealing with. We don't know what we've seen. But what we do know is this: the James Webb Space Telescope didn't just uncover a mystery.